The significance of the construction industry in the attainment of a nation's quest for development and self-reliance cannot be overemphasized. The industry serves valuable functions in the society that vary according to social need. This is evident in the fact that every individual, business or services of diverse kinds must have a shelter and a location in the environment. Sadly, the housing stock that does exist in Nigeria is expensive when compared to local household income. How can the high cost of housing construction be addressed in Nigeria? This is housing development. We will discuss housing affordability and accessibility to Nigerians. As always, I am Flora Ani, your housing diva. The news making waves in the sector is up next.
This television watch will be appearing or at below it.
The Real Estate Developers Association of Nigeria, REDAN, in partnership with the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, is set to combat fraudulent practices in the real estate sector. The partnership deal was sealed during a courtesy visit to the EFCC chairman, Abdurrashid Bawa, at the EFCC headquarters in Abuja. The president of the Real Estate Developers Association of Nigeria, REDAN, Alhaji Aliyu Wamako, sought the EFCC's support in sanitizing the real estate sector while putting an end to sharp practices of some operators which have hampered the sector's development and growth. The EFCC boss, Abdurrashid Bawa, noted that the need to regulate the real estate sector cannot be overemphasized, considering various factors militating against the build and construction industry. He therefore pledged EFCC's support to REDAN's course, as the new collaboration will help reposition the association for full actualization of its goals.
We are here to intimate you of some of our schemes as above mentioned and fervently seek to strengthen our collaborations and partnership to sanitize the business of real estate development in Nigeria. We believe that with your organization partnering and lending your voice to the need for Nigerians to have law that regulates the sector, a robust and increased housing development will be achieved.
To use this medium, and I'm passing the message to you that it is not an excuse to be ignorant of the law. You know, the long hand of the law will always reach out, and we are determined to sanitize the system, and we are determined to prosecute where possible for any erring member within the real estate sector.
The Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, FMBN, is introducing a non-interest rent-to-own mortgage lending program to increase financial inclusion. This was stated in a statement signed and delivered recently in Abuja by Lawal Isa K. Sauri, Group Head, Corporate Communications, FMBN. According to the statement, the unique housing product, which was recently approved by the FMBN Board of Directors, is meant to allow Nigerians to own their homes without having to engage in an interest-bearing transaction utilizing a mortgage. In his remarks, the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer, FMBN, Architect Ahmed Dangiwa, noted that the introduction of the non-interest mortgage product represents a historic milestone in the bank's drive to bolster access to inclusive mortgage financing for all Nigerians. 16th edition of the Africa International Housing Show, AIHS, will have B2B meetings for investors, real estate developers and other major stakeholders on climate change and green building. This was made known recently by the coordinator of the show, Festus Adebayo. According to him, this year's AIHS, scheduled to hold from July 25th to 28th, 2022 at the International Conference Center, Abuja, with the theme, Housing for All, the role of government in creating an effective enabling environment, is the largest premier housing show in Abuja. Adebayo noted that the platform, which has become the largest convergence of local and international stakeholders with so much testimonies in terms of value added to exhibitors, networking among leading practitioners and top government functionaries, has become a must attend for serious players in the Africa housing sector. For him, the Africa International Housing Show is meant to promote affordable housing in Nigeria, while at the same time bringing together stakeholders from all over the world to network, interact, discuss, and come up with ideas to develop the sector. Family Homes Funds Limited, Nigeria's largest social housing funding institution, has announced an investment of over 19.9 billion naira across 6 Nigerian states for the development of 2,754 homes for low-income families in collaboration with the state governments, private developers, and a women housing society in Kaduna. The 2,754 units will be distributed throughout 6 states: 650 in Akwa Ibom, 250 in Enugu, 620 in Kebbi, 600 in Zamfara, 500 in Kano, and 134 in Kaduna, allowing thousands of low-income families, including disadvantaged groups of widows and market women, own their own homes. In addition, the investment is expected to create at least 11,016 jobs for both skilled and unskilled workers. The projects, implemented under the National Mass Housing Program of President Muhammadu Buhari's administration, will prioritize the use of local resources, which is expected to have an even bigger impact on local economy. Civil servants, craftsmen, traders, cooperatives, and low-income residents will have homes built with a full range of facilities, including healthcare centers, schools, marketplaces, and recreation areas. To date, Family Homes Funds has supported the development of over 14,000 homes across Nigeria.
To read the full details of the news, do well to visit www.africanhousingnews.com. Artisans and craftsmen constitute an important component of the value chain in housing delivery and essential for the production of well-built, good quality and durable housing on a greater scale across the country. But when there is a decline in technical education and artisanship, what effect will this have not only in the housing sector but the nation? Let's find out from these experts.
The role of technical education and artisanship cannot be overemphasized, as they contribute greatly to the development of the construction industry. But the continuous decline in technical education and artisanship participation is one that has brought worry to minds of persons, as artisanship and technical education have been the fuel that has propelled housing development. Experts have attributed this continuous decline to a flawed ideology that labels artisans as a layman's occupation and technical education as a training for people with low level of intelligence.
Technical education is not on the rise in Nigeria, rather it is on the decline. And the reason is structural. The reason is the fact that there was an educational realignment and reorganization in Nigeria in the 70s that has a negative impact on the development of technical skills in our country today.
Technical education, according to these experts, provides for the wants of a man, and in the economy of today's Nigeria is of highest importance since it also aids housing development.
As far as technical education is concerned in Nigeria, the institutional frameworks are adequate. All we need is to fire and to put in more energy, more resources to ensure that results are being obtained. Nigerian youths are not actually lazy types of youths with proper institutional frameworks. They are ready to come out and display their skills. But I think beyond engaging their skills, we need also to create employment opportunities for them.
Every youth, no matter what you plan to do, should learn a skill, because one thing you will need at any place that you find yourself is skills. Your ability to use your skills, either as a tiler, as a painter, as a mason, anywhere you find it, your skills is your skills, and you can. outside this country. Some people who are graduating in this country who are outside doing many jobs, but as a skill, they recognized as a professional handyman, a professional craftsman, anywhere, especially with this NSQ. If you have an NSQ, that means you can work anywhere with your skills. And I think that I want to encourage every young person in Nigeria to take advantage and not just say, yes, we know that there's shortage of job, but you can use the time you have now to acquire as much skills as much that can be useful for you anywhere you go.
According to experts, youths need more participation in the artisanship and technical education sector, as it basically takes them places, and more participation in the construction sector as an artisan would breed professionality, reduce unemployment rate, and in turn, enhance housing development.
Are you a chief executive officer within the real estate, mortgage, building materials and construction industry? Then the Abuja International Housing Show CEOs Forum, a gathering of high-profile professionals who are founders and business owners, has a slot for you. The all-important CEOs Forum, which will hold at the International Conference Center Abuja, is a convergence of elite chief executives from Nigeria and across the world to devise most effective solutions to challenges in the housing and construction industry. Over 200 CEOs in real estate, mortgage housing finance, construction companies, and professional institutions will focus on the macroeconomic and socio-political environment impact of the real estate market. This collaborative and supportive forum will also give you an opportunity to present and discuss challenges facing your organization, seek the way forward, and click in high-level business network relations. For further information, visit www.ihsabuja.com or send an email to abujahousingshow@gmail.com.
Welcome back. You're watching Housing Development. Coming up next is Voices on the Street. What are Nigerians saying about being defrauded in a real estate transaction, and what processes are involved in such transaction? Let's find out.
Bonus to the fact that a government need to establish a regulatory body that will, monitor the activities of the agents and ensure that they don't fall into temptation like this. Because it looks as if that there's nobody that check the excesses of some of these agents, so such that it becomes absolutely very necessary for government to step in and have a body that will look into that and treat before it gets out of hand.
I'll get the person arrested. That's the first thing, and try to recover back my phone. And another thing is, these fraudulent guys, they work because people are not aware, and I think the government needs to do some things. For instance, there are places like AGs where you could go and verify land documents. So I can't just meet you on the street and you have 100 hectares, and I just imagine that you're the owner of it. First of all, the first thing is to collect the document from you and go and do my own findings and find out the real owner of that land. But because people are not aware of these processes, they don't really know where to go to and where to find out. So the government needs to come out and tell the public that, okay, if you want to do this, your first point of call should be a body, call them AGs or something. I know there is one called AGs now in Abuja currently.
Before I start, I would have known where the paper is coming from, if it is real or fraud. That is what I should do in the first place. Before I start purchasing whatever I want to purchase from the agents.
You just have to do findings, technical findings, to be sure that the information they are presenting to you is valid information. Even some estates may look valid, but it's not actually complete because it may be demolished by the next government, meaning they are building without plan. So a lot of things have to play out before you can invest your money in the real estate. You don't just throw money around. I want to advise people who have been defrauded to report to relevant agencies. Find out if a company that you want to do business with is registered with Corporate Affairs Commission.
First, I will assess myself. What makes me buy the property? Is it because of the low price? If it is because of the low price and it plays on my intelligence, then I will blame myself. Then if I bought it by mistake, but at the right price, then I'll look for the agent. If he has a place, then I'll trace him and tell him that this property is faulty. And as such, it's either you return the money or you find replacement.
As an individual, I have to be very careful. If I want to buy land or a house, I have to first and foremost see the papers of the house. That is the documents. Then I will use that document and go to ages. There are places that government has made available for you to go and check whether that property is real or not. When you go to that place, you search for the document. You see the original document. Then after searching to see the original document of that papers, with your lawyer, you should have a lawyer that will do this for you. Then after searching for it, if you find out that it's not real, the original paper is not there in the ages, you don't need to put.
First of all, I have to be angry. I have to feel